everyone, my name's Christy. Welcome to my corner. Thanks for joining me today for, I believe this is Flosstube number 80, which is a really nice round number. I do have some stuff to talk about today. I have some stitching, well, I had a bunch of stitching that I did. That's the only craft that I've done this week, really. So I'm going to show you that. I haven't done any weavings or anything like that. Yeah, so stitching it is for the day. I am super low energy and sad. You know, I'm wearing my RBG Descent collar because of the current state of the US, which I will, talk a bit about later. I also need to pick a new winner for the giveaway that I proposed in video Flosstube 76, I think. I never heard from the winner. So yeah, that is for this pattern, which is a personalized solar system date pattern. So I will choose that as well. I have some finishes. I have a fully finished, a finished, a new start. Anyway, there's stuff to talk about. I don't know how long this is going to be, and I don't know when I want to upload this. It's currently Saturday early afternoon, but because I have things planned for like the rest of the day for various social obligations for the rest of the day, including Granny Craft Club, so I will get some stitching done at Granny Craft Club. I don't know if this will go up tonight or tomorrow morning on Sunday. Depends on when I have time to film it. But before we get to any of that stuff, I want to welcome my new subscribers. I do have a few new subscribers, and I think that they're from a very kind shout out I got from Jody at Trixie Tricycle. So welcome everyone who came from there, and welcome everyone who's new. And thanks, Jody, for all kind things that you said. So welcome new folks, and welcome back anyone who's been hanging out with me for however long you've been with me. It has been great to get to know you in the comments here on YouTube and also on Instagram. And if you're not following me on Instagram, you can find me in two places. One of them is active at the moment. One of them is inactive at the moment. The active one, I'll put them both right here. The active one is Dr_Christy, and that's where I post my stitching and crafting and stuff like that, life stuff, my dog, whatever. And then the other one is the Spoolery, and that's where I post stuff about my my love of vintage wooden spools. I make things out of vintage wooden spools, and I post it there, although it has been inactive for a while. That is kind of my low priority Instagram account. So, but I'm hoping at some point I will start making things again and posting things there that fit that, posting things on that account that fit the parameters of that account. This is a channel about embroidery and cross stitch and other textile crafts, including weaving and also, other non-textile crafts, and history and the history of all of those things. So if any of that is interesting to you and you're not subscribed, I'd love to have you subscribe and stick around. I think the first thing I want to do is do the giveaway. Like I said, I'm giving away this chart, and I have it brought up. The YouTube comment, oops, there's my ring light. The YouTube comment picker, I have it brought up. And the word was planet. So we have 14 comments, and let's pick a winner. And the winner is Charlene Otting. My favorite planet is Saturn or maybe Jupiter. Can't wait to see Mrs. Fletcher. Love your glasses. Thank you, Charlene. That's very kind of you. These are actually my old glasses, and I don't wear them anymore. They're my favorite glasses, but they have broken in such a way that I can't get new lenses put in them. So I just wear them for filming because they're actually tilted down a little bit so I don't get as much glare from the ring light, which I do try to avoid. I think last video was pretty glary. But anyway, Charlene, and I'll put your name, well, I'll just show it again. Charlene, there you are. If you could either email me at christyscornercraft@gmail.com, that's down below in the description box, or contact me in a private message on Instagram, and I will get the information from you that I need to make this chart for you, and then I will make that in the next couple weeks and get it out to you so you can start stitching it. Good, that's done. So Charlene, please contact me. That's all I need this for, so I can put this away. The other thing I wanted to mention, and this is all having to do with the Supreme Court decision that happened, well, that came down yesterday, in which 6 people decided that more than half the U.S. population no longer has bodily autonomy, which is really disturbing. Haley Gilmore, who is a local artist and graphic designer, she designed some posters for the Women's March on Washington back in 2017 that went really viral. This one is the most famous one, and so she designed that. She's also designed other ones. One of the ones that she designed is this poster called Fangs Out. Now, Haley Gilmore got her bachelor's from the university that I teach at, and it's a small community. It's like, you know, I live in a relatively small community, and so we know each other. So we decided to join forces and have a cross-stitch pattern of that poster for the 5th anniversary of the Women's March on Washington in January of this year. And this is what it looks like. So that's what it looks like. Since this, you know, we knew that this Roe v. Wade abortion strike down by the Supreme Court was going to happen because it was leaked earlier in the year. And so we decided, Haley and I decided that we would make this a charity chart, and we would donate all the proceeds, and with fees and stuff, it's about $5 a chart or $5 a pattern, that we would donate this to a local charity. Well, we've decided to donate it to the Mississippi Reproductive Freedom Fund that funds abortions and abortion access for folks wanting to get abortions in Mississippi. And this will be a charity chart through the end of the month, through the end of June 2021. So if you want to help out abortion access in Mississippi and in the Deep South, you can by buying this chart through the end of June 2021. 2022, June 2022. June 2022. I don't know when I am. Anyway. I'm not doing that all over again. I'll just put a little thing up that you will have already seen. So through June 30th, 2022, this is a charity chart. So that makes me feel like I'm contributing in some way to the cause. I think that's all of the business that I have to show. Before I show you my fully finished object, I do want to show you that I have started using my journal again, my planner again. I had stopped for a while, so I think like May is empty. May is empty. So I've started doing it again and writing down what I'm working on as much as I'm going to. This is kind of the only way I'm using it. I am using it for other ideas too. And that's making me feel good. It's making me feel like I'm sort of getting accomplished. Anyway, I wanted to show you that. Let's talk fully finished objects. Now, as I mentioned before, I was contacted by mcreativej on Instagram to try out some of her stick and stitch patterns. So I have been playing around with the mushrooms. I also have fruit and little tiny landscapes. So I'm going to do a full review of these after I've tried more of them. But I did finish an object. The plan was to put these mushrooms on the collar of my black button-down shirt. And I did. And I really like how it looked. And then on the back, I just put a little tiny mushroom. So these are done in 3 colors. They're done in they're all in DMC. DMC 1, which is a light gray. DMC 3, which is a medium-ish dark gray. And 3023, which is like a gray sagey green. And I really like how it turned out. And I'm not going to go fully into the stitches and stuff at this point, but I used different stitches and I like it. I like how it turned out. So that is ready to go. And that's just hanging up next to me. There we go. So that is my fully finished object. I finished that shirt, that black button-down shirt. And that's a fully finished object. I also finished another embroidery piece. Finished Sherlock Holmes. So there is my Sherlock Holmes, which is number 3 in my Sleuths series. It is not my favorite one. I'm going to be honest with you. I may go back and fill and do a satin stitch in this black here. I just feel like it needs something else. I don't know. I wish he wore red. I wish there was something about his outfit that was red, because I just think that would be fun. But anyway, so this is my Sherlock Holmes Jeremy Brett Sleuths. And I will show you the other 2 that are already done as well. I have David Suchet as Poirot. And I have, I don't know this actress's name, but Franny Fisher from Miss Fisher's Mysteries. And then the other 3 I'm going to do next is going to be Jessica Fletcher from Murder, She Wrote. I'm going to do Columbo, and then I'm going to do Miss Marple, the Joan Hickson Miss Marple. I think I said Joanna Hicks last week, and my mom texted me and corrected me. My mom live texts as she's watching my videos. So it's Joanna Hicks. Joan Hickson is the Miss Marple I'm choosing, and she was from the late 80s, I think. So that is my other finish in my Sleuths series. And these are all being stitched on a white, I believe it's called Essex linen. It's a 50-50 cotton linen blend yardage from that I got at Fat Quarter Shop. I have a ton of it. A ton. And I'm using a bunch of various flosses. I'm trying to keep it in the same color scheme. Oh, I just lost my needle minder. I'm trying to keep it all in the same color scheme. So I have some color in cotton. I have rustic black, tusk, golden ale, and then dyeing for cross stitch, smoke for the gray, and peanut, which is also color in cotton. And then I have 2 dyeing for cross stitches that silks that I'm to be stitch me silks that I'm using, Red Barn and Sangria. So those are the colors that I'm using for this. And like I said, I'm trying to keep a pretty standard, or like a standard color scheme across them so that they all go together. The plan is to take an 8-inch hoop like this, paint it black, and they'll all go in that, and they'll all hang up on my wall. Like there'll be 6 black hoops filled with sleuths. Oh, let me go get my, let me get, I have a needle minder on the floor. Let me go get that. All right, I'm back. That was a lot of work because other things were falling apart in that bag that I'll fix later. Along with that, I have 2 other whips that I've been working on all year, so you have seen them. So the first thing that I have been working on is in my books bag, and it is my temperature chart for the year, and it is my temperature drink shelf, which will look like this. And I am stitching it on a 14 count navy Aida, and I have half of the glasses for June done, but I start from the end because I stitch in hand, and so I start from right to left. So I have to do all the glasses before I can put in the drinks. Otherwise, it just takes me too long to do the glasses, and it's not as enjoyable for me to do the glasses from right to left. I mean, from left to right. It's not as enjoyable for me to do the glasses from left to right. So I don't. I just do them all together, and then I pour all the drinks together. So that's what I have. And I work on this with my mom on Sundays, and those glasses I did on Sunday with my mom. So I think I can finish up all of the other glasses tomorrow, and then just fill up all the glasses, and then I'll be caught up. So that'll be fun. Like I said, this is stitched on a 14 count navy Aida, just that I got out of a tube, 2/1 full cross with the called for DMC. And if you're interested in stitching this, you can find this pattern and other temperature patterns in my Etsy shop down below. I'm kind of blasting through this, and I'm realizing that I don't have I got a little bit of haul that I don't have to show you, so I'll have to show you next time. Oh well. The last thing I have to show you today, oh no, not the last thing. The next whip I have is in my thriller bag. And it is my Heaven and Earth design, Lady and the Unicorn, which looks like this. And this week, I discovered that the main unicorn is 90% one color. And I'm like, you know what? I need block stitching. This is fantastic. So this is what the kind of the color looks like in the chart. And so I maneuvered my way over. I gridded it. And I don't even know if you can see it because it's like so light, but I have a unicorn butt. That's a unicorn butt. I'll show you a picture here of it filled in on the chart. And I'm so happy. I've probably put, that's some solid stitching. That is some solid stitching. At least 1,500 stitches, maybe 1,200 stitches. So I'm really excited about that. And my hope, I'm hoping I can maybe get all of this color in the unicorn done by the end of the month. Maybe even the entire unicorn done by the end of the month. That would make me feel really good because I'm now at 8%. I'm 8% done. And this is, I'm still behind. So I'm at a little under 18,500 stitches. So I'm still about a month behind, but if I can get that unicorn done, I think that will get me a long way towards being back on track, which will make me very happy. And this is done on 20 count ivory Aida that I'm gridding myself with a friction pen, 2/1, full cross, called for DMC. And it is a thick coverage, but man, I love the thick coverage. It just feels so... It feels substantial and I like it. I like it. So that is that. And then the last thing I have to show you, because I don't have the haul, I went to a small craft fair that we had in town the other day, the last Saturday, and I picked up some scraps, some from our local macrame artists. I picked up some weaving scraps. Last time I saw you, I had finished this piece, which is the first draft, essentially, of my embroidery piece that I will be using for an online video-based embroidery class that will be free. I will give you the link to the final pattern, and then you can watch the videos and follow along. And they'll be released weekly once they are produced. But this was all in white on black just so I could test the stitches. And also so to show you an example of what it would look like all in monochrome, because this is the kind of thing you can do in monochrome. And then this was the pattern. There were a couple things I wanted to tweak, and so I did that. One thing I tweaked was I made that a spool. Like, why wasn't that a spool to begin with? I made that a spool, and I changed a couple things. One of the issues I had was with the thimble. It looked like a hat. It looks like a hat. So I changed it in the new pattern, and I changed some of the stitches. And I had hoped to finish this for you by today, and I didn't. I was going to stitch it on a white, but I decided I found this gray gingham, and I kind of love the gray gingham. So this is where I am. The thimble doesn't look. The thimble looks like a thimble, which I like. And the scissors are kind of getting there. The tomato is almost done, but I think I might add a couple things to that to see how I feel about it, just to make it more tomatoey. And then I haven't touched the other side yet. So I'm pretty excited about this. I like how it's coming out. I like the stitches that I chose, and now I'm just choosing colors. But this is the kind of thing where it's like, I'll say, choose a red. And then this is the color that I use, but you can choose any red. Choose a green, or have a light green and a dark green. These are the two that I'm choosing, but choose whatever you want, that kind of a thing. So it'll be a good kind of stash buster, because it doesn't take very much floss at all to do any of these. And you'll learn different stitches. And then we're going to turn it into a needle book, which I think will be really fun. So that is the final thing that I have to show you today. I'm going to work on this at Granny Craft Club today because I can see it without a magnifier. I do want to talk about the Supreme Court decision on Roe v. Wade just briefly. One of the things that's been going around the internet and social media in particular is this idea that abortion is a modern invention and that earlier people did not try to regulate their own pregnancies or try to control their fertility. And that is like absolutely untrue. There is one particular article that is being kind of touted as proof that no one had abortions in the early 20th century because 2 law students typed abortion into a database and it didn't come back with anything before a certain date. And that is... There's a reason why like historians are trained in historical methods, because that's not how you search for earlier discussions of activities, you know, especially things that were considered taboo to talk about. No one would just have an advertisement for an abortion drug. For example, in the early 20th century, they would advertise for a concoction that would unstop the menses, right? Like, there are euphemisms and there are known euphemisms that historians who study reproductive health know about because the way we talk about things changes. So I am not personally a historian of reproductive health. I do have books on medieval reproductive health and medieval reproductive medicine. In fact, I have a book called like Abortion in Anglo-Saxon England or early modern England or early medieval England or something like that. I mean, like, this is not new at all. But with that being said, I'm not, like I said, an expert in this. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to link down below to an open source peer-reviewed blog/journal that has been running for 10 years. It's highly respected in the field of reproductive and medical history. It's called Nursing Clio. And they have all sorts of articles about the history of reproductive rights and the history of abortion and those kinds of things. So if you're interested in learning more about the history of reproductive rights and abortion, I highly recommend that you check them out. They are linked down below. And although this doesn't personally affect me because I cannot get pregnant for various medical reasons that I chose, if anyone would like to know more about that, I'm happy to talk about it. But I think it's important enough to donate money so that others have the right to choose their own fertility. I am privileged that I have health insurance and I have a gynecologist who was willing to let me choose my infertility, but not everyone has that option and not everybody wants to make that option. So if you are interested in helping out women in Mississippi and would like to stitch a protest piece, you can find this in my Etsy shop down below. And there is a hashtag, and it's hashtag still marching Sal, and I'll put that here. I think that's all from me. I have a lot of thoughts and feelings that that I haven't processed yet, so I'm not going to go through them, but I hope that you are well. I hope that you are able to find some comfort in stitching, and I hope that you can be active in a way that works for you and for what you are able to do. And like I said, I will put the education links down below, and I'll also put a link down to the Mississippi Reproductive Freedom Fund if you'd like to donate directly to them. Yeah, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I'm all out of order today. I had planned on doing a flip through of my Embroidery Guild of America magazine on Tuesday, but I gave a talk on Tuesday that took up more time than I anticipated. So that isn't happening. That didn't happen, but I'm hoping it'll happen this coming week. My summer class does start on Tuesday, but it should be like up and running by then. So hopefully I'll be able to get a little, video of my magazine for you all to see if you're interested. Anyway, I tried to keep up the energy, but feeling demoralized. So I'm going to head out and do some stitching. I will hopefully see you on Tuesday. And if not, I will see you on Friday. or Saturday. So with all that being said, please take good care of yourselves and have a good one. Bye.